Hello and welcome to today's art session. Today is all about rock art. Oh yes, so we're looking at different musical artists' logos and we're going to paint those on rocks. So today we've got two very famous but very different artists, Take That and David Bowie. For today's art session, we're going to need the following items. Obviously we're going to need our rock for Bedford Rocks, a bit of rock art. We're going to want some nice paints to paint our rock with. So I've got a nice colour selection here so we can mix them up. These are acrylic paints, so they're water-based, so they'll wash off nicely if you get them anywhere messy. We want a little palette to mix them in, a couple of brushes, set of scissors, and some masking tape for our masking tape art later. A pen so we can write on Bedford Rocks so everyone knows where our rock come from, and any extra rocks. So the first step is I'm going to start paint my rock with my background colour, and I'm just using a mix here of red and yellow to make a nice orange colour, and this will take probably about an hour to dry once you've painted it. So I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea while that dries. So now we have our stone and it's nicely painted and dried. We're going to do some different artwork on top of it. So a couple of ideas was either to make some stencils. So I've made a couple of stencils here, one of a very familiar logo, I think, from David Bowie, and also another one of the famous Rolling Stones lips, if you can see that smiling out. But we're also going to do a Take That logo, which will need a bit of tape. So we're going to use the tape to make our design, which you will see when we finish with it. And eventually we'll build up a pattern to this, and the grand reveal will be that we take off the tape. I'm going to go for this now. And hopefully this design will make our Claire very happy, as it's the Take That sign. We've seen one way of designing onto our stones where you tape out an area and paint over that, and the other way is to put a stencil over the top and then to tape that stencil onto your rock. And we're going to tape all the way round with our bits of tape on here and on here, and then we're going to get our paintbrush and very gently we're just going to fill all of that gap in all the way through. But we don't always need to use paint. If you're finding it a bit difficult, you can always use a pen just to fill in your surround and add a bit of colour to it as well. Well, there's our surround going on there nicely. And then being able to paint all in between. So we'll take that and then just take the stencil off, and we've got it there. So we can then get our nice paint and fill in between. Now we've got our completed rocks. As you can see, we've got two very iconic logos from two very different music artists, and just to add, we're going to put on the bottom #BedfordRocks.